Ok. Questo è l'ultimo gioco che mi ero preparato per oggi. In questo gioco noi andremo ad interpretare questo simpatico gattino. Non capisco se devo usare per forza il joystick. Probabilmente sì. Non capisco perché mi faccia continuare se non ho fatto neanche il primo livello, ma ok.
Oh, there you are, Theo.
Eccoti, Tio.
Honestly, it's your own dream. Do you even know where you are? Ah, well, it's time we got you sorted out with these cards. Come on now, we haven't got all day. Oh, sorry about that. Just give that rewind button a tap and we'll see if we can't start walking around things instead of into them. If you ever find yourself in a pickle, just remember that you can take a step back and try something else. Now, give these a whirl and see where they get you.
Ok. Ah, praticamente selezioniamo come muoverci con le carte. Dobbiamo arrivare in fondo. Vabbè, passiamo al prossimo.
There you go.
Ok.
Remember, Theo, you can look around at any time. What's that just there? Maybe you should give it a peek.
Premi LB e usa la levetta per muovere il cursore su un oggetto evidenziato. Ah no, questo.
I wonder what that's doing sitting around here. Maybe you should keep your eyes open for other interesting things. You never know what you'll find. Well, we're done here. Go on, leap into your family's arms. Lauren and Nathaniel are waiting.
Ok. Abbiamo superato il primo livello. Che era tecnicamente un...
Ah! What was that? Oh, okay.
Tutorial.
Well, after being woken unceremoniously by a sudden noise, our hero Theo felt that if he was to be kept awake, he deserved to know why.
Visto che siamo stati svegliati, meritiamo di sapere perché. Lo scopo del gioco è avanzare delle stanze, a quanto pare.
Hearing the yelling from the kitchen, Theo wondered if he had really moved from his bed just to listen to some tiff.
C'è una valigia preparata di fretta. Pianoforte trasandato.
Despite
Una
his
foto di
efforts,
famiglia.
Theo couldn't simply stay here forever. He had to find out what was happening.
Ho trovato tutti gli oggetti. Stanno spaccando tutto. Ragazzi, stanno spaccando tutto.
Perhaps things were a little more serious than he'd thought.
Forse le cose erano più serie di quello che pensava.
The kitchen seemed normal. Except, what was that he could see across the room? He had to take a closer look.
La cucina sembra normale, ma c'è qualcosa che non va al di là della cucina. Una foto di Joshua. La ciotola del cibo di Tio. E dovrebbe esserci un altro oggetto che però non... Oh, una foto di noi col nostro padrone.
God. Theo couldn't believe what he was seeing. His family, motionless on the floor. But that was it. No gun? Nothing at all. Was someone else here?
Sono morti tutti.
As he turned away, Theo could only think about one thing. Someone was surely responsible for this, and he had to know who.
E dobbiamo trovare il responsabile di quello che è appena successo.
Cautiously examining the hallway, Theo saw no signs of the killer. Instead, he found a path of destruction carved through strange machines before him.
Non si vede il killer in giro, ma ci sono delle strane macchine. Uno strano robot. È l'orologio del nonno.
The deeper into the room Theo moved, the more he realized that something was amiss. That bright red light hadn't always been there, had it?
Quella luminosa luce rossa non è sempre stata lì, vero?
Although he could not shake the image of his departed owners, Theo suddenly found himself somewhere very different indeed. However, before he could appreciate his new surroundings, he found his attention drawn to the glowing hot wall of energy in front of him. Faced with something so clearly hazardous, he thought it might be wise to take a moment to think before diving headlong into oblivion. Oh, what a pleasant surprise! After his daring maneuver, Theo found that he was still alive. Unfortunately, there was one more laser to slip past.
C'è altro da osservare a parte il robot? No, sembrerebbe di no. Ok, attendiamo, così si spegne il laser. E poi avanziamo.
Theo glared at the broken robot blocking his path. After risking his life twice, he was in no mood for this obstruction. Perhaps that broken vent offered salvation. Still somewhat tense from his previous trial, Theo was immensely relieved to find no deadly lasers when he emerged from the vent. On the other hand, he was instead faced with a functional, frantic, and quite soggy security robot.
C'è un altro oggetto da analizzare, però non trovo qual è. Vabbè, iniziamo a muoverci.
As he skirted by the distracted machine, Theo found himself eyeing the hole-riddled aquarium. Either someone was stalking the halls shooting at water features, or the security needed to work on their aim. Though the appeal of fresh fish was enticing, it was offset by the risk of an unexpected bath. Rather than contemplate such a terrible fate any further, Theo decided to make a quick exit. Advancing cautiously, Theo was encouraged by the sight of another aquarium, this time with the water safely inside, not threatening to unpleasantly dampen his fur. There was no time to fish, however, as security appeared to be taking its job a touch more seriously.
Fortunatamente quest'altro acquario sembrava non avere buchi, quindi nessun rischio di bagnarsi il pelo per Theo.
Although Theo could be easily distracted, he knew when it was time to focus.
Anche qui non trovo il terzo oggetto da analizzare.
That time had arrived.
Ah, ecco la stella forse. Sì.
That time had arrived.
E non rompere il cazzo.
Tearing his attention away from the unattainable, Theo delicately stepped between the broken remains of some very expensive-looking showpieces. Despite his lack of any understanding of fine art, he was disgusted by the wanton destruction before him. Having successfully weaved past the searching eyes of the guard, he was overjoyed to see that he could just follow the killer through a door, instead of crawling through the ventilation like a rodent. Theo cast his eyes about the grandiose room, the impressive decor marred by the smoking wreckage of robotic guards. Clearly, someone with no respect for interior design had been this way. However, hanging over the remains of a reception desk, Theo spotted something that took his interest. Bright Paw Industries.
Sul bancone c'è qualcosa che ha attirato la nostra attenzione. Industria della zampa brillante.
Although this place was impressive,
Dovrebbe esserci un
Theo
altro
knew he had
oggetto da
precious little time to
analizzare,
admire it.
però non trovo ovviamente. Ma avevo provato a cliccare sul segno. Va
Theo
bene.
had many questions, but lollygagging wouldn't answer any of them.
Facciamo così. Poi avanziamo ancora di due.
Despite the damage, the underlying class of this Bright Paw establishment was
Aspettiamo
clear.
che si spenga.
The placement of several large aquariums, brimming with exotic fish, was an inspired design choice that Theo could respect. Theo crossed the room, breathing in the intoxicating fragrance of fish, while taking care to avoid the remaining
Facciamo
hazards.
così.
As he did, his mind began to wander. Why was a place like this situated beneath his home? And more
Perché c'era un posto del genere
why have
sotto
these
la
fishy
propria
treats
casa?
not been brought to his attention before?
E perché queste delicatezze pesciose non sono
glance, it appeared
mai
that Theo had
state
stumbled
fatte
into a
notare
storage
a
room for
lui.
broken glass. Except there were other items in the glittering fragments. Grenades, missiles, an umbrella.
Granate, missili e un ombrello, cosa? Ok, qui devo aspettare che avanzi il robot, che immagino farà tutto il giro, per cui io devo passare a destra, non a sinistra.
Theo padded behind the guard, pondering his discoveries. A hidden underground facility, robotic security, and now rooms filled with odd weapons. What on earth was this place? Looking back, Theo considered that it was perhaps unwise to leave such destructive toys lying around. On the other hand, there was no way someone would leave live explosives on display. Probably best to ignore it and hurry on.
Non sarebbe intelligente lasciare tutta quella roba lì, tutte quelle armi. Però chi è che lascerebbe in bella mostra degli esplosivi funzionanti?
Apparently the killer had needed to clear the room in a hurry. But why? Oh, perhaps those lasers were a motivator.
Sembra che il killer abbia dovuto abbandonare la stanza in fretta.
With the wall of death slowly advancing, Theo scrambled for a plan to slip by. There, across the room, a shattered glass wall offering a glimpse of escape. Deftly avoiding glass with his paws, Theo found his eyes drawn to a large portrait on the wall. Was that Nathaniel? As he stood, he wondered, how much of all this was his master responsible for?
Dall'altro lato della stanza Theo vide una foto. Era Nathaniel, il suo padrone. E quindi si chiese quanto di tutto ciò è responsabilità di
Someone had clearly been
Nathaniel.
rifling through the deliveries recently, though they didn't seem to have found what they were looking for.
Qualcuno stava
Obviously, the killer
certamente
had been
cercando
looting the
qualcosa,
facility,
ma a
and
quanto
it was
pare non l'ha
unlikely that they
trovato.
planned to use volatile weaponry to spread peace and joy. Being a conscientious cat, Theo knew it fell to him to put a stop to the killer's nefarious activities.
Theo sentì che era compito suo porre fine alle opere del cattivone di turno.
Finding himself inside a warehouse, the towering stacks of crates gave Theo some measure of hope. Perhaps the killer would try to search the top of an unstable pile and fall to their doom. Lost in daydreams of the killer being buried alive, Theo stepped blindly forwards onto a conveyor belt, promptly shuffling him away from his happy thoughts. Perhaps it was unlikely that the killer would be ended by fallen cargo, but the belts leading into the dark and deadly machinery seemed to promise an untimely demise. Spotting a bundle under some nearby crates, it appeared Theo's wishes had been heard. However, he tempered his excitement until he could get a closer look.
Theo ha visto qualcosa di interessante sotto
Theo
una...
tempered his excitement. He didn't lose it. Stepping over a broken belt with great care, he was disappointed to discover not a body, but simply several empty crates bearing the label High Explosive.
Abbiamo trovato tante scatole con su scritto altamente esplosivo.
The empty crates led Theo to conclude three things. The killer had found what they were looking for, they were definitely up to something, and Theo's work was not yet done. He moved on with the hope that the killer's loot would be enough to slow them down.
Le casse vuote fecero pensare a Theo che il killer abbia trovato ciò che stava cercando.
Robots as they fired at non-existent threats. Perhaps the killer had just passed through?
Abbiamo trovato i robot che stanno sparando a delle minacce che non esistono.
The belt, unable to tell the difference between a cat and a crate, and lacking the desire to learn, moved him once again as it would any other box. As he headed for the door, Theo couldn't shake the feeling that the strange blue algae was creeping steadily across the wall behind him. Oh well, it was probably harmless.
Beh, effettivamente quelle alghe sembrano parecchio strane.
Whoever Theo was following had certainly spooked these poor robots who were all consumed by blind panic.
Chiunque stesse seguendo Theo sicuramente ha spaventato. Oh no, ho sbagliato.
As he carefully padded forwards, avoiding lasers, Theo noticed the most curious drawing etched into the wall. But why would a killer stop to doodle? Theo couldn't stop thinking about the bizarre graffiti he kept seeing. It was unlikely the killer was taking the time for artistic creativity.
Sono dei graffiti sul muro.
Someone
Ah,
else
sì,
in the
quello.
facility?
Oh dai, quello lo voglio analizzare, vediamo cosa dice. Ok, non dice niente di interessante.
As he stepped into the room, Theo found his racing mind halted by yet another drawing of a slightly more significant scale. Theo tried his best to examine the etching, but found it devoid of artistic value.
No, direi che decisamente ho sbagliato.
As he began to move away, Theo couldn't help but wonder who would put so much effort into these acts of vandalism. Was it maybe some kind of poorly drawn calling card? Perhaps, he thought as he carried on, the murderer was simply an awful artist. Whatever it was, the mural failed to hold Theo's interest long enough for any meaning to be gleaned.
Forse l'assassino non era un assassino, ma solo un pessimo artista.
According to the booming sounds of heavy industry and the massive shipping containers, Theo had found himself in some kind of loading station. Theo's eye was caught by something colourful and clearly out of place hanging from a rail across the room. A discarded tie. Was this some kind of taunt? It was becoming clear to Theo that the large boxes wouldn't just wait for him to cross, so he quickened his pace towards the infuriating clue. Clearly, the killer had left this tie to send a message, but in doing so, they had left a trail for Theo to follow. Perhaps he'd get the better of them yet.
Chiaramente la cravatta appesa era un
Mary was
messaggio.
intrigued by the surprisingly expressive
Ma
trail
facendo
waiting
così il
before him.
killer ha
On the
lasciato
other side of the tracks, a curious hole in the wall drew his eye. Perhaps the killer had made their
una
own
pista
exit.
per Theo da seguire.
Stepping onto the train, Theo glanced towards his goal and noticed a strangely carefree-looking robot bumbling around near a control panel. Hopefully this one wasn't a threat. The train began to quake, and Theo couldn't react fast enough to leap off. He had better find something to hold on to.
Oh no!
Theo was quite unprepared for the sudden velocity and found his current predicament extremely upsetting. Luckily, he just needed to hold on until the train looped back to the station.
No, ho sbagliato.
As the hatch broke free and rocketed past him, Theo pressed himself against the train and vowed to dedicate the rest of the ride to keeping his eyes open for low-flying objects of feline destruction. Theo might have found some comfort knowing he wasn't the only one caught unaware by the sudden departure. But it was all he could do to just keep his paws on the ground.
Così. Così.
Theo tried not to let the burning robot distract him from his efforts to survive.
Ah. Ah. Torniamo indietro. Devo tornare ancora indietro. Così. Così.
In the
Così.
distance, Theo could just about spot the station, approaching at a rapid pace. He just had to hold on a little longer.
E così. Oh. L'abbiamo fatta.
Theo staggered off the train quickly. driven by his newfound appreciation for solid ground and the terrible fear that it might suddenly set off again. Just ahead of him, he could see that bloody robot that had sent the train off in the first place. As he followed the irritating machine through the jagged opening in the wall, Theo hoped that he wouldn't ever have to lay eyes on it again.
Questo gioco è molto carino, rilassante.
Theo eyed
Non so
his
per
new
voi che
surroundings
guardate,
curiously,
no.
noting the piles of unused
Giocarlo
files
è
and coats.
molto
Across what
rilassante.
little floor existed, there was a sharp drop from which a blinding light and tremendous heat emanated. Besides this abyss sat... that bloody robot. Theo focused on the path ahead, choosing to politely ignore the annoyance in the room. A shifting wall of energy was barring his progress. Perhaps turning off that strange machine would help.
Ma come? Use RB to select a power toggle and A to flip it.
With the barrier successfully disabled, Theo was happy to move on and leave that robotic liability behind. Surely the killer couldn't be too far now.
Sicuramente ci stiamo avvicinando al killer. Forse.
Entering another area with limited flooring, Theo wondered why all of these rooms seemed so unfinished. Maybe the... it was starting to look like Theo might have a tail. No pun intended. Oh, apparently Theo's new friend had some value after all. As the oblivious robot scampered over an obvious switch, Theo braced for the consequences. When none presented themselves, he decided to stay on alert. There was no way he was safe while that machine was bumping into things. Contemplating the state of the room ahead, Theo reluctantly accepted that perhaps the robot's help might be necessary.
Forse l'aiuto del robot è necessario. Può essere.
As he threw a disparaging glance at the machine, Theo noticed some worn writing on his chassis. D4Z. As a loud noise reverberated behind Theo, he wondered just what he had done to be cursed with a trundling mishap. Though his companion seemed to be some kind of cosmic setback magnet, Theo had to admit, Daz was endearing, aggravatingly so.
Si stava affezionando al robottino,
Overwhelmed by the heat pouring from the broken machine, Theo mourned the obvious failings of engineering safety standards. How on earth was he going to reach the elevators beyond this mess?
Come diavolo avrebbe dovuto fare a raggiungere l'ascensore al di là di tutto questo casino?
Theo flinched when he heard the now familiar sound of Daz activating another switch. He cautiously opened his eyes and was pleasantly surprised to see something positive had finally come from this robot's help. Daz hurried into the elevator, Theo found himself growing slightly less aggrieved. Perhaps having the little fellow around might even be useful.
Forse avere quel robottino intorno tra i piedi potrebbe rivelarsi utile. Forse.
As the elevator rattled to a screeching halt, Theo found himself suspended on what could kindly be referred to as a rough-and-ready bridge, or not so kindly as an invitation to a long plummet to certain death. Theo watched as Daz leapt gracefully down onto the scaffold to aid in his journey across. Considering the barrier ahead of him, Theo wondered if Daz could assist him once more, with the right guidance, of course. Theo found he quite enjoyed the company of the small robot. When he wasn't actively annoying him, the unlikely companion set off into the cave, ignoring the tribal warnings decorating the entrance. They were probably just for show anyway.
A Tio iniziava a piacere la compagnia del robottino quando
The large chamber was
questo
filled
non,
with the clanks and groans of tortured metal,
non cercava di
punctuated by
dargli
a steady
fastidio.
drip of stagnant oil.
Il robot entrò direttamente nella caverna senza badare ai segni tribali che vi erano
Faced with a
sul
seemingly impassable
muro.
split in the floor, Theo stopped to think of a way around. Wait, did he just... disregarding the danger, Daz bravely leapt into the chasm to aid his feline companion. Surely he'd be fine.
No, non mi dire che rimane lì ammazzato perché incazzo, povero robottino. No!
Oh.
No, è caduto di sotto! Ma cosa? Perché?
Stunned by the loss of poor Daz, Theo slowly padded onwards, barely noticing the more polished and functional walls around him.
Stordito dalla recente morte di Daz, Tio proseguì, notando a malapena i dintorni certamente
The only way to
più
proceed seemed to be through a
raffinati.
strange airlock. As he stepped inside and felt his hair begin to rise, he wondered if something was amiss. Huh? Ah! Ah!
Che cazzo è successo?
Well, thoroughly perplexed, Theo could only hope he wouldn't spontaneously burst into a cloud of electrons in the near future.
Buon, è tipo saltata in aria la macchina, ma perché?
Despite the lingering crackles of energy in his fur, Theo found himself occupied with a rather spectacular plume of fire between himself and his goal. With nothing to hand to bar the flames and unwilling to risk singeing his whiskers, Theo was unsure of how to proceed. There must be something he could do. Amazing! It appeared that the mishap Theo had experienced had changed him in some fascinating ways. Before another jet of flame could spring up, Theo slipped deeper into the labs. Hopefully the
Abbiamo
worst was
ottenuto
over,
i
but if not,
superpoteri,
his
ragazzi.
newfound powers could prove quite helpful.
Siamo un gatto con i superpoteri.
Upon entering, Theo noticed there was a bridge leading straight to the door he needed. A definite positive. However, a large section had decided on a career change and was currently enjoying its new life as debris below.
Cambiamo il titolo della live. Volevo mettere un titolo un po' più interessante, però va bene così. Oh no, oh no. È morto il joypad. Ok, si è ripreso in qualche modo, quindi va bene.
Laughing in the face of those without strange abilities, Theo casually willed a path into existence. Theo quickly sauntered across his creation, hoping that physics wouldn't try to reassert itself at an inopportune moment.
Con una risata in faccia a tutti quelli che non hanno strani poteri, Theo ha creato una strada per passare.
Once again, Theo entered a laboratory which would have been quite easy to cross, if not for the disorganized heap of crates cluttering the corridor. It was always something. Glancing at the important-looking hardware in the lab, Theo dismissed the feeling of déjà vu. There was no way he'd been here before.
Osservando tutti questi macchinari, Theo ha avuto una sorta di déjà vu. Tuttavia non è possibile
Finally,
che lui
Theo
sia già
rushed
stato
through the
qui.
doors.
Ma no.
No, 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 no! What
Cosa è
happened
successo
here?
qui? Non lo capisco. È tutto di stupido.
Christ! They can't all be ruined, can they? I built this equipment! I implemented failsafes. Surely some of them must have made it!
Cosa? È impazzito il narratore. Oh no, no, non può essere tutto distrutto. Io ho costruito questi macchinari, ho implementato le protezioni. Sicuramente qualcuno deve aver fatto tutto ciò. Ah, non ho modo di proseguire, quindi devo tappare. Così.
Oh God, no! It's all gone! What am I going to
È
do?
tutto sparito, cosa farò adesso?
I can't stay trapped like this forever!
Non posso rimanere intrappolato così
There's
per
no way I'll be able to
sempre.
start again with things in this state. And it's not like you'd be able to help. You probably don't even understand what's happening right now.
Probabilmente non capisci neanche cosa sta succedendo in questo momento. Oddio, Lauren. Ah, praticamente siamo all'inter... Ok. Noi siamo il creatore di tutto ciò e siamo all'interno del gatto.
Whoever did all this to me was bloody thorough. Just look, Theo. All of my work, every scrap of progress, reduced to bent metal and shattered glass.
Tutto il mio lavoro distrutto, ridotto a... non lo so. Metallo piegato e vetro
Clearly,
spaccato.
whoever did all of this had some training. I bet it was MI5. Or maybe those umbrella-swinging secret society ponces. It's just their style to break into someone's home and trash everything in the name of Queen and country. The bastards!
Ma no! Ma queste citazioni, dai!
Christ! This hardware is supposed to be hard to damage! Well, lesson learned. Don't buy from the bloody Bratva. Strong Russians steal my ass, Koskov.
Lezione imparata, non comprate dalla mafia russi. No, ho sbagliato.
All my work, my genius, and this is how it ends? I can't even do anything. I'm just along for the ride on the Theo Express. At least our chances of escaping here alive are minimal at best. So I won't have to suffer this joke of an existence for too damn long.
Quindi non è effettivamente il gatto,
Oh, I don't know, Theo. Maybe there's still a chance. We could
ma è
escape this
qualcosa
place
che è
and start
sul
from the ground up.
gatto.
Even with pause, we could try, and there'd still be viable samples on the bodies back at home. Maybe we could still save her.
L'alga. Lo scienziato è stato trasformato nell'alga ed è quella che ci portiamo appresso.
But it would take years starting from nothing. Even if we did manage to collect viable samples, we'd have no way of storing them for that long. And I never found the chance to make a backup of her mind.
Come faccio a dirgli di farlo in un altro punto? Non mi fa selezionare un'altra zona, lo fa fare per forza lì. Tanto questo avanza. Io non ho risolto nulla. Torniamo indietro. Se lo metto qui adesso, mi fa avanzare per forza. Faccio tipo così. No. fa piazzare solo lì. Nonostante ci siano altri 4 punti per piazzarlo, me lo fa piazzare solo lì. Il problema è che poi viene spostato. Faccio così, si sposta avanti, ma io comunque non ho modo di andare oltre. Me lo fa mettere sempre lì. E da qui non posso andare da nessuna parte. Sono un pelo bloccato. Se faccio così poi rimango girato verso il muro, non posso fare altro. No, secondo me c'è il modo. Secondo me c'è il modo di posizionarlo in un altro punto. Il problema è che non capisco come. Me lo fa mettere solo lì. Io sono comunque bloccato qui così. Ah, vaffanculo, ho trovato come. Perché con la levetta non me lo faceva fare? Perché stronzo.
I just can't believe she's gone. At least Joshua didn't get caught up in all of this.
Non posso credere che lei se ne sia andata. Almeno Joshua non è stato colpito da tutto ciò.
Who am I kidding? I'm not even me. I'm just a copy of Nathaniel's bloody mind squeezed into a brain the size of a tangerine. No offense, Theo. Honestly,
Ah, ok.
it's amazing that we're
È
both
dentro
alive
Tio
here.
allora, come avevo pensato all'inizio.
I've been hiding out in you for months without a body of my own. And when I saw him lying there dead in the house, I thought maybe I'd have my chance. Do you know what's really strange, Theo? The thing I miss most about having a body, more than anything else, is being able to wiggle my toes. It's bizarre. You'd expect something more grandiose. But it all comes down to the little things in the end.
Così poi vado avanti troppo. Merda. No. Ho fatto una cazzata. La prima è per forza questa. Poi posso provare a fare così volendo. Poi rimango bloccato là se vado lì. No, così sono bloccato. Oh, ce l'abbiamo fatta. Ucciderei per dei crampi ai piedi. Cosa?
Christ, watch out for those lasers, will you, Theo? Just remember, anything that happens to you happens to me.
Tutto ciò che succede a te succede anche a me. Pirla!
So this is all I am now? Just a disembodied voice in a cat. Well, it could be worse, I suppose. The earliest experiments were on lesser creatures. Could you imagine scurrying around here trapped in the body of a mouse? Doesn't bear thinking about. You wouldn't still be up for chasing down the killer, would you, Theo? I'll take that as a yes. Nothing like a bit of revenge to get the blood up. I must say, Theo, it is quite a relief to drop the pretense and just talk to you straight for once. I couldn't just be honest with you before, you understand? I mean, what was I supposed to say? Hello, Theo. Don't mind me, I'm just a strange voice in your head. Now be a dear and do exactly as I say.
Ma giustamente non è che gli poteva dire.
My God. Why on earth did I make the laser units so skittish? I can't believe I managed to make them so alert and yet so inept. What? That shutter should always be firmly sealed shut. Does this agent have no respect? No common decency at all? Get in there, Theo. I won't let this stand.
Proseguiamo. Molto 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 carino come gioco. Molto rilassante, calmo. Tanto diverso da tutto quello che giochiamo di solito.
I haven't been here in a very long time. Looks like the flora managed to thrive in my absence, but I can't say the same for the hardware. How on earth are we going to get around all that?
Tap and drag a glowing object to it.
I've got to admit, I'm at a loss here, Theo. Most of my ideas tend to revolve around having hands.
Non
Just
capisco
look at this
come.
thing. It's only about as powerful as a pocket calculator. You need damn big pockets.
Ah, ho fatto ripartire il livello.
I haven't been here in a very long time. Looks like the flora managed to thrive in my absence, but I can't say the same for the hardware. How on earth are we going to get around all that?
Come cazzo? No, quello mi resetta.
I've got to admit, I'm at a loss here, Theo. Most of my ideas tend to revolve around having hands. Well,
Ok, dovevo usare R1, non me l'ha detto nessuno
I find
però.
it somewhat disconcerting how well you're taking to your new psychic potential, Theo. I can't deny its usefulness, though. I'd really rather not be back in this place. But if I will stop that damnable killer from making off with any more of my property, then I guess I have no choice. Ooh, I remember this one. Something about self-pollinating crops. Really, who needs bees anyway?
Sai. E quello si può spostare.
That doesn't seem to be enough. Needs more power.
Ok.
Nicely done, Theo. We might make an electrician out of you after all. These plants have had more than a decade to muddle up the wiring. Looks like it must have shorted out the last time someone used the door. We may have to perform some impromptu repairs, Theo. I was so young and idealistic when I made all of this. It's almost sad to see it in ruins. Almost.
Ero così giovane quando ho creato tutto questo. È quasi triste vederlo.
Ah, the old hydroponics nursery. Lord, that robot must have been keeping this room running for at least a decade. Have to respect the dedication, if nothing else. Do be careful around those panels, Theo. I don't think that robot has any safety accreditation, and you aren't exactly shockproof. Watch out for those plants, Theo. I know they either cure third-degree burns or cause them. I just can't quite remember which.
Attenzione a quelle piante, non riesco a ricordare se creino bruciature di terzo livello o le curino. Comunque ho sbagliato qualcosa, quindi torniamo indietro. Ma io comunque devo passare da lì. No. Così. Poi sparo un PSI. Perché? Perché adesso lui si è impuntato e io posso fare così. Non posso perché lì adesso non posso andarci. Quindi devo fare così. Così. E no, perché io adesso mi sciocco. Tra l'altro sembra esserci un achievement. Ti fai scioccare un tot di volte. Quando sono stato scioccato mi è comparsa la dicitura Dynamo col simbolino dell'achievement 1 su 4 o 1 su 5.
Lauren would have loved this place back in its heyday. I'm glad I kept her in the dark, though, considering how things turned out. Ah! That's certainly an inventive use of your powers. Maybe a little warning next time, Theo. Just try to keep the acceleration within survivable limits, will you?
No.
Despite my growing disdain for vents, being a cat sure does give you a unique perspective on things. All this plant life makes it almost pleasant in here.
Ragazzi, io faccio una piccola pausa sigaretta, vi metto una pubblicità e continuiamo tra poco perché mi sta davvero piacendo, è molto rilassante questo gioco, è davvero interessante. Poi siamo dei gatti. Il menu sembra tipo avere dei problemi.
You know, this is where it all started for me, Theo. Not the ventilation system, obviously, but the laboratory as a whole. I was trying to solve world hunger.
Sto cercando di risolvere la fame del mondo. Puoi immaginarlo? No. Credo di aver sbagliato. Un passettino più indietro. Adesso posso fare così, perfetto.
A word of advice, Theo. If the government offers to fund your research, it probably isn't worth it. They always take more than they give. Unlikely to be relevant to you, but worth keeping in mind.
Se il governo ti offre dei soldi per finanziare la tua ricerca, probabilmente non ne vale la pena. Prendono sempre di più di quello che danno.
Christ, this place is completely flooded. I suppose you won't want to sit a paw in that. We'd best find a drier route. I don't like the way that robot is acting at all. It's just glaring at us. Good thing it can't get over here, then. Oh, this trick again. Give me a moment to brace myself. Ah! Now, why would you do that? Oh, bugger. Think the door needs powering.
No. Perché ha rigirato il bastardo? Non capisco. Ah, perché lui si muove a seconda di come siamo posizionati noi.
That was quite crafty of you, Theo. Well, let's get out of here. More flooding. Looks like this exit's jammed up tight too. Let's try slipping through the ventilation again. Theo, it would appear that there's another robot over there, and this one might actually be able to catch us. I'm not sure you'll be able to outrun it. Oh Lord, it's going to be very close!
M'ha fregato. No, ho sbagliato.
It's like it's waiting for us to make the first move.
C'è un achievement anche per farsi schiacciare. No, ho sbagliato.
Ha ha! Excellent, Theo! That should buy us some time at least.
Così ci schiaccia. Ok. Siamo riusciti a finire anche questo livello.
That was a little bit too close for comfort there, Theo. If we could avoid situations like that from now on, I'd really appreciate it. What on earth are they doing? You know what? I'm getting to the point where seeing my own robots destroying what I've made is old hat. I can't say the irony is lost on me, though. Even though I hate a lot of things about this place, there was a time when I had to fight to keep it alive. The money men were demanding results, and Joshua was on the way. Seeing the rusted ruin it's become is unpleasant. Well, the years have not been kind to this place. To think, back when this was a lab, I used to spend most of my time sitting in the middle of that hole in the floor. This is where I made a major breakthrough. Not with world hunger, though. I realized I could weaponize some of my research. You can bet the people signing my checks were far more interested in that. That is where Brightpaw began. At the time, of course, it was just a necessary evil, a way to continue my work. A small slip that would be forgiven once I'd solved all the other problems in the world. Somehow I doubt the elevator is still in service. Up for another jaunt through the vents, Theo? The irony is, I actually figured it out. World hunger, I mean. I was going to change the world, make a real difference to mankind. Best of all, I'd finally be able to share my work with my family. Then those bastard pen pushers dismissed me without a second thought. Perfect, but it would have worked. I solved scarcity and they didn't even try. Then I realized if they didn't care, why should I? It's all just history. All that matters now is catching the bugger responsible for all of this.
Avevo quasi risolto, ma loro non se ne importavano, e se non se ne importavano loro, perché avrei dovuto farlo io? Tutto ciò che importa adesso è trovare il responsabile di tutto questo.
What on earth? How is this place still so tidy?
Come fa questo posto ad essere ancora così pulito? Ok, quello è un blink.
This fellow met his end in a very inconvenient place. I don't suppose you've got any other tricks up your sleeve? How did you even begin to try that? You know, the most disquieting thing about this entire situation is that despite all of my research and decades of questionable scientific investigation, I've never seen anything quite like your powers. Ah, this is more like it. They must have been trying to keep up appearances by sweeping all the mess back here. Seems like we're pretty hemmed in here, though, Theo. scratch that. Folding space-time certainly makes navigating this junk easier. Oh, I forgot about these. They were toys for Joshua. I was going to give them to him when I finally introduced him and Lauren to my work. It just goes to show how old all this is. He's a man in his own right now. God, the robots around here have been working away, keeping this place clean almost as long as he's been alive. Well, despite a decade or two without proper maintenance, the reactor seems to be doing well. I was concerned it might be choked with junk, but it seems it won't explode anytime soon. Oh, don't worry about all the lightning. It's supposed to look like that. Just don't get too close, and you'll be fine. Bloody robot! Run for it, Theo!
No, ho sbagliato. No, splat. Ma poi da qui non mi posso muovere. Sì. Così.
It appears your teleport trick
così.
stopped it dead in its tracks. Well, as nice as that is, there's no guarantee it will last. Let's not stick around to test the theory.
Sembra che le tue abilità di teletrasporto lo
How
abbiano
on earth have
fermato,
they kept this place so clean when they
ma
keep
non si
doing
sa
things
quanto
like
durerà,
this?
per cui vediamoci ad andarcene.
If your powers prevented the last robot from chasing us, I wonder what it would do to one of these.
Il tuo potere ha impedito all'altro robot di seguirci, chissà cosa potrà fare a questo.
How wise of you, Theo. Looking before you leap. Oh, thank God. I was sure it was just going to explode. But it should be safe to keep doing this. Probably. Why would they bother to expose the wiring like this? It's obvious they aren't doing anything with it. You would think I'd engineered the laser units purely to destroy my own property. That was a little bit too close for comfort. Guess it's good to know the limitations of your powers, if only to know when we need to run. Oh, that robot is a lot closer to us than I'd like. But this time we can do something about it.
girato dalla parte sbagliata, quindi non va.
Ha! Take that! This new ability of yours is proving very useful, don't you think? Now, we just need to traverse that gap. Okay, Theo. I don't want you getting a big head, but that was good thinking. This place seems relatively calm, if not a little dark for my tastes.
C'è un achievement anche per farsi bruciare dai laser.
Lovely! Just lovely! I doubt we can stun them all. We may have to come up with a different strategy. Ah!
Fanculo. Ma non l'avevo finito di spostare.
Well done, Theo. That should give us a little breathing room.
Sono girato dalla parte sbagliata però. Allora. Sì. Sì. No. Allora. Uno. Due. Tre. No. Ho sbagliato.
This was going to be a place to relax and sit back with a book. Me and Lauren were going to be able to work together, and Joshua would have had an amazing place to grow up. Looks more like a construction site now.
No, ho sbagliato. Volevo andare di là.
I can't see a way past this laser, Theo. This obviously isn't getting us anywhere. We need something to block it.
Adesso sono bloccato qui. No. No, ho sbagliato. Non è quello che volevo fare. E ce l'abbiamo fatta!
It may shock you, but I've always seen the benefits of physical fitness as well as mental prowess. I thought it would be good for the whole family to stay in shape.
Dove siamo? Ah, ok, lì. Non c'è nulla da spostare, però posso usare 2 teleport.
Watch your step, Theo. Unexplained psychic powers won't prevent you tripping and bumping your head. I think it was when I was building this that I realized it would never work out. Lauren would have questioned where the funds came from, and she would have never accepted the truth. She had a very firm outlook on morality, you see.
E ok, anche questa è andata. Vediamo un po' se mi dice quanti livelli sono.
I would usually advise we find another route, but you seem to have developed a knack for problem solving by defying the laws of physics. So, What have you got up your sleeve this time?
Più di 70 livelli. Non ho idea a che punto siamo. Quindi continuiamo, sperando di riuscire a finirlo. Passetti. Non posso in nessun modo riuscire a spegnere quei cosi. Ok, torniamo all'inizio. A me non me ne frega niente di bloccare lui.
Now that's thinking outside the box, Theo. My God, it's a total disaster area. What happened in here?
Sbagliato invece.
You're getting awfully good at juking those.
Così. No, ho sbagliato. Così.
Even you'll have issues leaping through all this rubble, Theo. Let's find another path before that chaser wakes up.
Quindi il teleport mi serve per passare lì. Ne ho uno solo di... Ne ho due di teleport. Pare. L'unico mio modo di uscire da qui è questo, che non ci sono interruttori per disattivare qualcosa per terra. Però posso fare così. Così sono girato dall'altra parte. E non mi cambia un cazzo lo stesso. capisco. Così. Poi così mi prende. E adesso qualsiasi cosa faccio mi prende, oppure non posso superare quell'altro. Ok, siamo di nuovo all'inizio. Non c'è nulla di attivabile. Questo non posso metterglielo di qua per bloccarlo. E quindi i primi passi devo farli per forza verso di là. Ora se io arrivo lì, poi rimango lì, quindi devo fare per forza così e teleportarmi in avanti. Poi faccio così, rimango bloccato lì. Quindi la mossa è per forza una di queste altre due. Proviamo così. Poi mettiamo questo qui. Sono fottuto. Vediamo se lo faccio prima cosa succede. Posso fare così, me lo trovo davanti. Faccio così, mi chiudo sul muro. Faccio così, me lo trovo preciso di fronte. Forse ho capito. Vedi che mi ha dato un altro Psy, vaffanculo. Ho perso un sacco di tempo inutilmente.
Oh no, we're trapped. I hope you remember how to repeat your latest trick.
Ho perso un sacco di tempo inutilmente.
It's distressing to see the garden like this. I was hoping it might have escaped the decline that befell the labs. I stumbled upon this cave while I was building, and I thought it would make a lovely space for the family. Plenty of room for Joshua to play, and some nice plants for Lauren and I. I always planned to build a nice gazebo just over there. A serene place to just relax and take in the ambience. Is that a bloody crashed helicopter? What? That's a Fennec chopper. MI5 standard. Those bastards have been after me for years. Is this how the killer got past all my security? Good thing they went down trying to land in here. There might be something useful in the wreckage. Theo, we've got to go and take a look.
È caduto un elicottero. Va bene. Siamo all'atto 8, dobbiamo ancora capire chi cazzo è sto tizio che abbiamo nella testa.
Theo, come on, get up, Theo. Oh, thank God. For a second there, I thought I was going to be stuck in a dead cat.
Qui bisogna partire per forza con uno di queste due.
Theo, are you in there? How many fingers am I holding up? Oh, wait. Bugger. I think we've ended up in the facility's sewage system. If we want to find a way out, following the water is probably our best bet. I'll leave it to the freakishly competent psychic cat to figure things out for a moment, if that's all right with you. Hold on. That's an MI5 agent. Or the bones of one, anyway. Did he fall from the helicopter and die down here? Must have been some time ago if he's in this state.
No, ho sbagliato.
But if he's been rotting down here, he couldn't possibly be the killer. Let's get out of here, Theo. Perhaps there's more to find downstream. This is all junk from Brightpaw. How long have those damn robots been flushing everything? Christ, I thought I was in control of things. Watch out for these broken robots, Theo. They're probably still dangerous. What did I tell you? This whole bloody place is a hazard. Keep your eyes sharp. Well, this is clearly not my work. I don't recycle. Who the hell set up shop in my sewers? It's like the further we walk, the stranger things get. Careful amongst all this junk, Theo, unless you're a big fan of tetanus. Maybe, if we're lucky, the killer fell down here too, and he's just as lost and confused as us. That would be nice.
E ce l'abbiamo fatta, anche questo è andato.
What the? Are there people living down here in my sewer system? How bloody long has this been going on? Ah! Get it, Theo, before he gets us! I'm sick and tired of having robots jump out at me, Theo. What did I do to deserve this? Don't answer that.
Ecco, bravo.
Was everyone here an agent sent after me? I did order my security to dispose of intruders. Perhaps they took it a bit too literally. So these people decorated their homes with surveillance footage of me and collected as many of my robots as they could. Forgive me if I find this a little unsettling. Well spotted. Now let's take our leave. Something about this place is making my skin crawl.
Ah, qui devo tipo fare così. E poi andare avanti dritto così.
It's probably just the wind. Or water pipes.
Ma... Ok, cioè ci devo arrivare preciso, se no non vale.
Look at the size of that building! It must be significant in some way down here. I don't have any better ideas. Do you? Of course you don't.
Quella struttura deve essere importante. Guarda quanto è grande. Comunque passare di là.
Look out! That robot's coming right for us, Theo! Ah!
Plat. Che stronzo.
Christ alive! Broken machines are significantly more intimidating when they're chasing you through the sewers. Theo, into that building, quickly!
E ce l'abbiamo fatta.
That's a decent amount of robots. They're not exactly smart, though. Maybe we can slip between them. Is this a church? I suppose to the assassin-turned-sewer dweller crowd, the concept of spiritual redemption would be quite appealing. You know, for something made out of reclaimed materials, this place is impressive. The stained glass especially. Is that... Taz! Of course he's the deity of the sewer folk. That just makes perfect sense. And there's a robot in a Pope hat too. The Pope bot. Are we
Pope
sure
bot.
we didn't die in that fall?
Siamo sicuri che non siamo morti con quella caduta?
Well, it's bizarre to know that a religion formed in my waste systems. I'm not really sure what to make of it, to be honest.
Ok, va bene.
We've climbed a fair bit higher than I thought. That pipe looks a little rickety, but I'm not sure if I can face returning to that church. Theo, we just need to get onto the pipe, okay? I'm sure you can come up with something if you just look around. Theo, what are you planning on doing about that robot? There's not much room to maneuver up here. Good to know you have a plan and you aren't just winging it. You do have a plan. Oh. admired your reflexes, Theo. Now get me away from that damn pipe. Careful, Theo. There's someone here.
Attenzione, Teo, c'è qualcuno.
Unstable.
Sembra instabile.
What? That toy is Joshua's. Why would it be down here? He's not even in the country.
Hello? Oh, Theo, it's only you. What are you doing about on your own?
No. Can't be.
Lo stai facendo qui da solo, io? Può essere.
What are you doing? My Theo doesn't move. Not anymore. No, you aren't my Theo. Not my Theo at all.
No, tu non sei il mio Tio è morto.
I don't understand.
Non
Joshua
capisco.
shouldn't be here.
Joshua
He
non
was
dovrebbe
traveling the
essere
world,
qui.
having a life.
E invece
Christ, I don't... We can't even do anything about it. You're just a cat and I'm stuck. I'm sick of this impotence, Theo. I've got to do something, Theo. And
Devo
I'm
fare
never going to
qualcosa,
be able
Dio.
to as long as I'm in you.
E finché sono
We need
dentro
to
di te
start
non
fixing
posso
things.
sistemare nulla.
I need to make this right.
Devo sistemare tutto questo.
Okay, Theo, we're getting out of here. If I remember rightly, the water in the sewers should flow close to the mines. If we can reach them, it shouldn't be too hard to escape.
Ok, questo fa solo destra e sinistra.
Come on, I know it looks like it's built of spit and dreams, but it's our way forwards. In you get. Oh, well, that's awfully shaky, isn't it? A necessary evil, Theo. We won't let a damn basket stop us. Those stairs look like the way to go. Over there, Theo, where the rock starts. That's our ticket out of here. We just need to deal with that lost chaser robot and then slip by the big guy. I can't help but wonder why none of those highly trained agents thought to search for an exit before settling in. I mean, you just have to follow the water. Must be the air down here messing with their heads. Go on, you know how to deal with these buggers. There's a lot of bones here. I suppose it's difficult to escape when you've been crushed by something built to crack through mountains. Lucky for us, it's looking pretty low on power. All right, Theo, we've got to be careful ahead. The amount of robots in the mines might be prohibitive, but I believe in you.
Io credo in te. Abbiamo finito l'atto 8, fra l'altro.
Lord, that's a lot of robots. No more than expected, though. We just need to proceed extremely carefully and make sure that we aren't spotted. That's it, the doors are open. No time to patch stuff on the back now. Go, go, go. Oh, bugger!
No?
Christ on a bike! Okay, stealth's out the window. We've got to make a run for it before the bastard wakes up and alerts any other guards. No time to wait for them to move, Theo. Just make a break for it.
No! indietro.
Theo, I don't want to alarm you, but that guard has woken up and the exit looks distinctly sealed.
E siamo arrivati.
Okay, Theo. We somehow managed to get through that last chamber without being slaughtered, but we can't slow down yet. The alarm could be raised at any moment.
Ragazzi, piccolissima pausa e poi finiamo il gioco. Tanto penso che manchi poco alla fine. Pubblicità. Eccomi qua, eccomi qua. E andiamo a finire il giochino. Ci siamo? Sì, ok. Abbiamo di attivabile, quello e quello. Ok, questo cosa fa? Abbassa quel ponte. Questo poi qui
Why do my bloody laser units always seem to cover as much space as possible? I mean, really? Do you need a clearance of 6
no, mi
meters
sono
when you
fatto
mine?
schiacciare.
Oh, lovely! That's another guard coming for us, Theo. I hope you can think of a way around it. I swear, it's like I built these lasers just to complicate matters. Gah! Why do my bloody laser units always seem to cover as much space as possible? I mean, really? Do you need a clearance of 6 meters when you mine?
Facciamo così. Torniamo indietro all'inizio. Questo fa solo avanti e indietro. Per quale motivo dovrebbe fare così questo? Non c'è nessun motivo. Ok.
Now leg it!
E questo è il motivo per cui cosa si muove. Facciamo un passetto.
That was intense, but we can keep it up.
Due
The mines
passetti.
aren't that expansive, or at least they weren't when I was in charge.
Così. E il teleport verso la fine.
Let's keep the pace up, Theo. I've got no idea how close those robots might be. What the? These are the explosives the killer stole. They must have planted them down here. Oh God! I can't feel my legs. Am I dead? Well, that's about the last noise you want to hear when you're standing on a pile of explosives. Perhaps we should exit stage left. Oh, well, yes, of course! That's just bloody perfect!
Ah. Ok. Sì. Così.
That's right. Easy does it. Just stay calm and remember that if you don't hurry, we're
Poi.
going to die.
Così.
Excellent work, Theo. Congratulations and all that. We can die at any moment. Let's be leaving now, please.
Così. E così.
I would have expected an explosion by now. Maybe we still have a chance. I don't know.
Stiamo per saltare in aria, ricordiamocelo.
Oh well, whatever we do, we'd better do it fast. These caverns are coming down whether we like it or not.
Così.
Great idea, Theo. We can slip right around.
Così. non credo di aver fatto la mossa migliore.
I'm surprised these fellows have a survival instinct. I certainly
Così.
never had one.
Così.
Let's get out of here before that fence comes down. I don't fancy being crushed in a robot stampede.
Perfetto. Ci siamo.
Christ, look at the size of those roots. They must have pushed through from my old lab.
Ok. Adesso così per forza è l'unica cosa che posso fare. Poi così,
Be careful, Theo. That's a lot of very agitated robots.
così,
How did they even end up in there?
così.
I hope we're under the labs. Otherwise, we might have a minor ecological disaster on our hands. These roots shouldn't have grown this far. Not exactly high priority right now, though.
Mi schiaccia perché è stronzo. Però ho sbloccato l'achievement.
Oh! If anything, that tree just proves how damn good I am at my job.
E ci siamo.
Yes, okay, let's get a move on. Looks like the robots here have large...
Cosa?
Looks like the robots here have largely cleared out. We just need to make it past those lasers.
No, questo non lo posso spostare. Posso fare così. Posso fare così. Puoi spostare questo qui e muovermi in avanti.
Just focus on the lasers, Theo. Try to ignore the certain death just beneath this rickety thin sheet metal platform.
Poi e così. Così.
You know, if I'd bothered to make the laser units more mobile, these ones would have probably run off already. Hindsight is 20/20, I suppose. Is it just me, or is the amount of rock falling from above steadily increasing? We must be
Sì.
close to the exit now, Theo.
E così.
I think
E anche sto livello è
a
andato.
lot has changed since the last time I was here. Theo, look! The rail terminal is just down there. It looks like the robots are still trying to load up the train. If we're quick, we can hitch a ride to safety.
Minchia. Ah, non l'avevo visto che c'erano loro che non mi permettevano di salire.
These bloody machines are just panicking, Theo. We're going to have to try and hurt them ourselves.
Poi così.
God, this might actually work.
Allora, questa in qua. Poi vai lì. Mi sposto su quest'altro. Mi sposto lì. Poi mi sposto lì. Questo viene in qua. Però sono bloccato in questo verso. Quindi 1 2 3. Sì.
Oh, being thrown around like this is really making me motion sick.
Così. Passetto avanti. E la porto di qua. Posto questa. Passetto avanti.
That worked. No time to stand about, Theo.
Oh. Così. Ci ho cacato.
The train at platform 1 is today's final service.
Do you hear that? The train's still working. We can ride it straight out of the mines.
Ce l'abbiamo fatta!
That train is our last hope, Theo. There's no time to make it out on foot. If we miss it, we're completely screwed.
Ok. Che giro devo fare? Lì, lì. E non capisco proprio bene che giro devo fare. Però vabbè, proviamo.
For the love of God! Don't these robots have anything better to do right now? We don't have time to tiptoe over there. Not with that bastard chasing us. Maybe those worker drones will just load us on like cargo. We're so close!
Is today's final service.
Piu piu, Eddie, piu piu.
Just in time! No time to relax, though. Remember our last train ride? Buckle up, Theo. I think this is going to be much, much worse.
Questo gioco è parecchio simpatico, molto tranquillo, rilassato. Siamo un gattino con i superpoteri e un geniaccio nel cervello.
This time, but we've done this once before, and we made it out fine. Probably best to move up the train in case the entire cave starts to collapse, though. Of course! Why not add a little fire to the situation? Try not to singe your whiskers, Theo!
Ah, questo si muove avanti e indietro e basta. Ah, ok, posso mettere questo lì. Muovo così.
It's okay, Theo! You can do this! Just think inflammable thoughts!
Prendo questo,
I
lo
mean,
sposto.
non-flammable. I don't know! This isn't my usual area of expertise! I don't think we're the only
Teleporto di là.
stowaways here! Be careful around those robots! They're dangerous enough when we aren't on a burning train!
No!
That's it, Theo! Let's bypass this mechanical menagerie!
Così. Sono oltre i laser, vero? Sì. Quindi, così. Poi così.
Okay, so the caves are collapsing and our escape vehicle is on fire. I'm sure it could be worse. Somehow.
No. No, ho sbagliato. Così. Poi da qui. Da qui non so dove devo andare. Infamata. Adesso vengo schiacciato comunque. Dove vado vado. Quindi devo tornare indietro. Perché quello non è il punto dove devo andare. Oh. Ah, ok. Sì, me lo sposta. Perché in avanti di là non me lo manda? No, c'è qualcosa che non mi torna. Allora, io sono piazzato qua così. Posso fare così. Prendere questo, spostarlo. Io volevo spostarlo avanti di uno, però quello non me lo fa spostare più, quindi niente, devo tornare indietro. Lì non mi ci fa teleportare. E splat. Quindi non è così. questo va solo avanti e indietro. Lui il passo da 1 non ce l'ha ancora. Posso fare così. Questo lì. No, niente. Stanno diventando abbastanza stronzi i puzzle, eh? Poi devo prendere per forza questo e metterlo lì, altrimenti non passo in nessun modo. L'unica mossa sensata qui è questa. No. Mi sono teletrasportato sotto uno dei robot. Ok, mi fai tornare indietro? Si è bloccato, non mi fa tornare indietro. Si è buggato. Devo riavviare il livello.
Okay, Theo. Things were a little more tense this time, but we've done this once before, and we made it out
Giustamente
fine.
è una beta, non avevamo ancora beccato nessun bug. È arrivato il bug.
Of course! Why not add a little fire to the situation? Try not to singe your whiskers, Theo! It's okay, Theo! You can do this! Just think inflammable thoughts! I mean non-flammable. I don't know! This isn't my usual area of expertise! I don't think we're the only stowaways here! Be careful around those robots! They're dangerous enough when we aren't on a burning train! That's it, Theo! Let's bypass this mechanical menagerie!
Faccio così. Poi faccio così. Faccio così. Faccio così. Faccio così. Secondo me non ho risolto niente.
Okay, so the caves are collapsing, and our escape vehicle is on fire! I'm sure it could be worse! Somehow!
Non me lo fa mandare avanti. E qua posso teleportarmi solo sotto il robot. E non posso neanche andare avanti. loro bloccati così adesso. Posso fare così. Il teleport non me lo fa usare. E finisco schiacciato. Perché non me lo fa mandare in là se sono ancora qui? Cioè... Allora, facciamo così. Se io faccio così, poi così. Oh, santi Dio! Non vedo quale oggetto è selezionato.
Ah, more flaming coals! That's just perfect! This vehicle is becoming more fire than trains!
No. Ho sbagliato qualcosa. Così. Così. Sai su di lui. Qui così. Fare niente adesso. Non ho neanche il weight. No, per andare avanti devo fare per forza così. Ah, poi posso fare così. Così. Madonna che fatica! Sto livello è davvero stata una fatica.
Oh, God! I can't believe we survived! Let's get clear of this wreckage quickly, before the lava consumes it!
Sono le 7:43. Non vedo nulla. Scusate.
Theo, look! Over there! Sunlight! Honest to God, sunlight! We're going to make it! We're so close!
Ma è pensata per essere fatta così? Non credo.
Oh, God! I can't believe we survived! Let's get clear of this wreckage quickly, before the lava consumes it!
Ma...
Theo, look! Over there! Sunlight! Honest to God, sunlight! We're going to make it! We're so close!
Ma... Non capisco.
Oh, God! I can't believe we
Cosa
survived.
succede?
Let's get clear of this wreckage quickly, before the lava consumes it! Theo, look! Over there! Sunlight! Honest to God, sunlight! We're going to make it! We're so close! You can make that gap, right, Theo? Surely you can! No! It's not fair! It can't end like this! Surely you can do something! You're a psychic cat, for God's sake! So help me God, Theo. If we die this close to safety, I will personally claw my way out of hell to haunt the bastard that set that bomb! Wait, what's that? Is that? No, it can't be! Daz! I was sure he died back in the caves! I never thought I'd be so happy to see you, Daz, you beautiful machine! Now let's get out of here before it all comes down! Oh. Not to be disrespectful, but we should really get out of here.
Cioè,
We made it! I can't believe we made it.
Io devo capire adesso se quel livello è buggato o è pensato per essere fatto tutto al buio senza sapere che cazzo stai facendo.
God, it feels good to be back in open air. Wait a minute. Do you hear that? Is that Lauren?
I settled this now, settled the world to see, settled your death before it swallowed me. So don't think I don't know, don't think I don't see, don't think these years weren't used to me. I heard your haunted house when I was left alone. I was always hoping that you're gonna find your own way home.
Ok, quindi abbiamo effettivamente finito il gioco. Eddie, devo andare anch'io, aspetta 2 secondi e andiamo insieme. Se puoi aspettare un attimo. Se no lascia un secondo aperto, così almeno ti fai il ride. La padrona è sopravvissuta a tutto il casino, quantomeno. E ci sono venuti a prendere con l'elicottero. Può skippare? C'è qualcosa dopo i titoli di coda? Benissimo ragazzi, io vi ringrazio per